I'm going to make a video for each knife I had in a previous video, and today I'm going to be talking about this knife. So I'm just going to talk about, or just to show too a little bit more of the ideas behind each one and where I got the designs from. And and here I have, for that purpose, I have a cold steel Vaquero Grande and a cold steel Vaquero Hombre. I'll go over those two a little bit. So first I'll start with mine. So it's an S-shaped blade. Um, it's sharp on both sides, just up to this point. So it's sharp from here on. So just flat. And then from about here. And let's just measure. So the blade length is 9 inches from the tip to the hip to the handguard, and then from the handguard to the very end of the handle, it's 5 inches. Oh, and it is about 1.5 inches wide. It's about its widest. A little bit more. Let me see. Yeah. So I'll go over these two. The Vaquero Hombre, it's also an S shape. Not as pronounced, but... And, both of these are serrated, and mine isn't. So, Vaquero Hombre is 5 inches. And the handle is a little bit, probably 1/8 of an inch over 6 inches. And here's the Vaquero Grande. So it's 6-inch blade, and the handle is about 7.25 inches. And not this really matters, but the Vaquero Hombre is made out of PG1 stainless. These are both made in Japan. And the Vaquero Grande doesn't have it doesn't say, but it's Oz 8, also made in Japan. I'll get the focus. There you go. So, just talk about a little bit about the knives, I guess. I put this on myself. It's just a zip tie, so it acts like a weight function. So when I pull it out of my pocket, it catches and then opens the blade. And both of these have this is before the Andrew Demko triad lock. They both have just a regular lock, but it's good. I mean, it's no blade play. It feels well made. I mean, it feels sturdy, and the handles are nylon with fiberglass, I think, if I'm not wrong. So, okay, now they're both they're not sharp on top. They're they're just grinded down a bit, but they're not sharp. Just as just to help with penetration, I guess. All right, so I'll use as an example. The reason I used this shape, and I'm using this knife because it's more it goes more with the one I actually made shape-wise. So it's an S shape, and they're designed to when you cut something, once it hits the blade, it basically gathers material, cuts a lot more because of this dip here. So I wanted the same thing for mine. I'll talk about the grind too I did on the knife to help with that. So same thing. Once it hits here, it it gathers material, cuts more, and now I wanted something that would cut very well. I mean, when you're trying to cut like just different materials, but also if you ever look into Bowie knives, they talk about back cuts. And when I saw this shape, I thought this would be like the perfect knife for a back cut. I'll show you. I'll show you what a back cut is too later on. So this top part is for a back cut, and because of the shape of this blade, it's not a karambit shape. It's just it's very wavy. Also, it's so if you happen to hit here, you get a lot of cutting surface, and it works the same way. It as catching material here, this would also catch material here, so it helps with the cut. And so I'll talk about the grinds too. So the inspiration for this knife was basically the Vaquero Grande, the blade shape, and this is just an example of a similar knife with a blade shape, but it's not as pronounced. I'm actually talking about that. You can get a Vaquero Voyager now, and it's actually in between these two. I think it's 5.5 inches, but the shape is more like this. The S shape isn't as pronounced as the Vaquero Grande. And I don't like that. I wish they made this knife. See, it's slim. It's I didn't say how thick it was. Let me see. It is about 1/8 of an inch thick. So it's thin. I mean, it could be thicker too. It doesn't really matter, but it's thin. It's not wide, and it's much more curved than if you look up. I don't have one, but the Vaquero Voyager, much more curved than that. And I just wish they made this knife again, but using modern materials. So instead of Oz 8, just a carpenter steel or the Oz 10A. The handle too. It's I mean it's fine, but had a more sturdier feeling handle, maybe with liners or something like that would be nice. But well, just kind of a tangent. But well, okay, so this knife, what I did was, and just I'll talk about the grind. It's much sharper. So basically, from where it cuts to here, I was able to do that because I just ground. Just a flat grind from the start, from here, from the edge out to the back to the spine. So it's super sharp here, and I'll show it to you with the paper. And from just about here, it keeps that edge. But I wanted a lot of strength in the tip. So I kept a lot of the thickness. You can see it there. It is almost as thick. It just starts tapering down from about here. So I did that to just strengthen the tip as much as I could, and strengthen this area too. This is still sharp, has a good sharpness, but this it's sharp, but it's not too sharp. Um, I'll try to demonstrate that. So a back cut, if you ever look up back cuts on Bowies, how they're made, they're basically just a swedge. They're not that sharp. If you look at them, they basically start like from here and get ground down, and they'll be made out of pretty thick stock. So they're not meant to. They don't need to be really that sharp for a back cut to work. It just has to be just semi sharp for it to do what it's supposed to do. So here, I'll try on paper. As you can see, and this is just basically 3-hole punched computer paper. So you can get on the camera. So this is just from where I said, whoop. See, so this is basically from where I'm talking about, from here to here, and I'll just start from here. See that? See, it's less. It's because it's part of the reason too. Even though it is sharp, once it gets to that thickness, to that thick part, I'm trying to do a little bit better. Once it gets to that thick part, you can feel it kind of push away. Okay. All right. All right. So, and the back cut is it's not as sharp. Let me get another piece of paper. So here's the back cut. Wow. It's not that sharp. Try this front apart again. It cuts, but yeah. Okay, so the part that matters for me was this. I mean, this is sharp. This is still sharp. But I wanted this to be really, really sharp, which I was able to do just with just a thinner grind up until this point. And I wanted to keep the point strong just for thrusting. Oh, the thing I forgot to mention. The reason I wanted this specific shape is even though it's let's see, 1.5 inches. Oh wow. Yeah, okay. So even though it's 1.5 inches, it makes a wider hole because of this curve. So if you put it into something, I'll try to show if I can. So here's let me just put these aside. Here's a box. I have nothing against Pete's. I love Pete's. It's the only box I could find. So okay. So if I put this through, let's try to do it as straight as I can. I'm not trying to like make a hole into the. I'm just gonna measure the hole it makes later on. Oh, it's curving forward. No. Ah, that's not good. Ah, it's curving. Alright, let me try with paper. Make a hole. Okay, so try this again. What's right here? Maybe? Okay. It's still curving. Okay, a little bit. Oh, it still moves. Whatever. Alright. I'm gonna need that box for later. So, I guess you kind of understand what I'm saying. Didn't think it was gonna turn out this way. Okay, that's just it going straight. If I can get this on camera. And it just curves a little. Wow, okay. Alright, so not exactly what I wanted to show, but so the hole's about 2 inches and it moves forward. I guess maybe it would do that if it hits something else. So 2-inch hole, and it tends to move forward, I guess. So once it hits this, once it hits the flat end, it tends to push forward. So it'll go down, hits this flat end, pushes forward, and it just follows the curve. So on cardboard, it basically did the same width. All right. Okay, so I'll talk about the back cut now, using the same box. So I have nothing against Pete's. I like Pete's a lot. Okay, it's the only box I have. So on a regular cut, and I mean this is sharp. Let me try this again. Okay, not crazy sharp, but it's sharp. You know, this is the part I'm going to use to try to cut the box. Okay, so if you hit a box or just anything, just a regular hit, that's really annoying. That's a really annoying sound. Okay, all right. You have to hit it to cut. You have to hit, and then it has to slide for it to cut. So if it doesn't slide, if it just hits, you can push on it and you're fine. If you just hit straight. But you have to hit something and then slide for it to cut. And here it's less annoying this way. Okay, I'll try sliding a little bit. So sliding a little bit kind of makes little cuts, I guess. But a back cut, it's basically like almost you're stabbing it. The point is basically putting all your force and concentrating it. So a back cut, it's just basically like you're stabbing it. And here, I'll show it this way too. So super easy. And so that's the idea behind Bowies, is that the back cut, you can hold it like this, do a back cut, or some people say they swing it around, I guess. So I wanted something that can cut extremely well on this side. The grind I used, I try to make it as strong as possible, so that when you do try to penetrate something, it's very reinforced, and then still have a back cut because of this sort of karambit style turn. And then the handle, I thought of something that would be comfortable, and that would whenever you hit something, it would put pressure on your hand in a place that would be comfortable in both ways. So like this, you hit something, and the pressure basically goes towards here, towards the back of your hand. And if you turn it around, you have all this filling up the inside of your hand. So it's comfortable both ways, for me at least. Okay. Oh, and this is so it's CPM 3V. And it's my favorite steel to work with. So it's hardened to 60 Rockwell hardness, and then the thickness is 5 millimeters. Okay. Oh, and I know I went through this before, but I'll just go through it again a little bit. The handle is Boino wood, so it's natural wood, and then just brass handguard, brass eagle head pommel, maybe. I mean bird head pommel. I don't know. There, it's full tang too. So okay, just 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 a video on why I designed this, where I got the design, the idea from, Cold Steel. I really wish they would make a fixed blade, especially if they could put their serrations on a knife like this, and basically serrated, and then serrated it on the back too. That'd be insane. Well, maybe someday, but I'll make another video for the other ones, the other two knives I have, and I'm making a fourth knife, which is just gonna be for carry. Um, when I'm done making it, I'll show you guys that one too, guys and gals. Okay, well, bye.